Hi there. This is Janice Miner, and welcome to Reset and Restore, a brief digestible eye opener just to remind you of your responsibility to steward your entire person. That's your mind, that's your body, and your spirit. We're going to do that by taking a position of restorative health. Well, I don't know if you caught the episode earlier, but I was just having a little chat with my friend Erica, talking a little bit about food cravings, actually sugar cravings. She actually pinpointed the target of her sugar craving not being just a physical thing, but also an emotional thing. Emotionally, she was driven to consume all of this sugar. And when we were talking, she talked about being an avid journalist and being able to journal through her day and through her life. And she figured out that it's not the fact that I just can't do without cakes, cookies, ice cream, and anything sweet. It's the fact that I'm trying to fill a void in my life. And that's what happens a lot of times when we reach for something to satisfy us physically in the form of a food or a snack, because it's easy for us to either reach into the refrigerator or reach into the cupboard or stop at a convenience store. And at the moment when we are ingesting this, we feel like we feel good. And the reason we feel like we feel good is now our body is surging with this cortisol. And it's a chemical reaction that's going on in our brain. And our brain can't tell the difference between table sugar or cocaine. And cocaine is so addictive, but sugar is far more addictive than cocaine. And when we're trying to feed our body with an addictive substance to just fill a void in an emotional area, it really doesn't work. It actually leads to destruction in our own physical body. So sweet things, I want you to know, aren't, they're not so sweet for our body, but it doesn't mean that we have to go on deprivation and never have anything sweet again. Dr. Mark Harmon said that, people have sweet tooths. And he said if you have a sweet tooth, it's okay to indulge at times. But more sugar, or the more sugar that we consume, the more sugar we want, which leads to a sugar addiction, which is not good for us. So I want to talk today about, how to recognize that you have a sugar addiction, and give you a couple of ways, try to implement breaking some of that addiction. Breaking a sugar addiction, it's not easy because, we love it. Sugar's in everything. Sugar's in not just our pastries, but it's in what we consider or what we see as a healthy alternative. We go pick up a fruit bar, a food bar, or protein bar, and if we don't, if we're not really looking at all the ingredients, there could be sugar in there that is not good for us. Things that we drink that we think, oh, this is refreshing and good for us, could have too much sugar in there. And there is a biological addiction to sugar. Sugar is actually not let's just say sugar is not something that we should consume largely all the time. And the Mayo Clinic did a study, and adults on an average consume anywhere from 25 to 27 teaspoons of sugar a day. And children, they're anywhere from 34 to 40 teaspoons of sugar, a day. And according to the experts at the Cleveland Clinic and the Mayo Clinic, what we should be consuming as an adult woman is about 5 teaspoons of sugar a day, and a man maybe 8 to 9 teaspoons of sugar a day. And children really should consume no more than 4 teaspoons of sugar a day. And just to kind of give you an example, kind of put that in perspective for you, you can have a 12-ounce can of soda, and there's 10 teaspoons or more sugar in that can of soda. We can give our children a box drink of fruit drink that we think that only has like 3 to 10% fruit in there, and it has anywhere from 10 to 12 teaspoons of sugar in there. And when we cut out our sugar or cut down, I'm not going to say cut out, but cut down on the amount of sugar that we put in our body, we can see some physical changes almost immediately. Skin rashes seem to kind of clear up, and anxiety and stress lessens. If you have reflux or acid reflux, we can see that slowing down, dissipating. Sometimes irritable bowel syndrome is just cleared up just from reducing your sugar. Fatigue or migraine headaches, joint pain, they all seem to be reduced when we cut down the amount of sugar that we put in our body. The American Diabetic Association has associated during research that large consumptions of sugar leads to degenerative diseases. It's actually one of the leading causes of degenerative diseases. So that's a good reason in itself to cut down on our sugar. How to kiss sugar goodbye? Like I said, it's not an easy thing to do, but we can kind of move the needle in the positive direction in as little as 7 or 10 days. And the first thing that you need to do is make the decision. You're going to make a decision to commit yourself to 7 to 10 days of just detoxifying your physical body of sugar. And those changes will instantly reset your brain as well as resetting your body. Now, you can't stop this cold turkey. And the reason why I say you can't stop it cold turkey, it would be wonderful, if you did or if you could. But there is sugar in all forms of sugar, and white flour and artificial sweeteners and hydrogenated fats, MSGs, and all packaged foods. So we have to be very, very cognizant of label reading to make sure that we are getting or consuming things when we buy these things that has no sugar at all added to it. And we can cut down our sugar intake by just cutting down or changing some of the beverages that we drink. I mentioned how much sugar is in a can of soda, and if you are a big soda drinker, then cut out a couple of cans of soda. Sugar is also in teas. A lot of times we just go and we pick up, a refreshing iced tea, lemon tea, green tea, and we don't realize the amount of sugar that's in that. So we need to get the unsweetened type of tea. And then we don't realize how much sugar we put in our coffee. Sometimes we get a big cup of coffee, we add a teaspoon of sugar in there, and then we add a flavored coffee creamer that has sugar in there. So that is like a double dose, if you will, maybe sometimes a triple dose, depending on how many teaspoons of sugar you put in your coffee. And then there's fruit juices. Every fruit juice that you pick up has added sugar in it. Fruit alone has natural sugar. So if you juice your juice and just have the natural juice, that's a good thing and a good way of cutting down from the white sugar that we're putting in our bodies. One of the things, or not one, just a couple of things that we can do to kind of help us with this is that we need to add more protein to our diet as we are cutting down on the sugar that we put in our body. When we were prone midday snack to reach for something sweet as a pick-me-up, a muffin, or a candy bar, something of this nature, try picking up some seeds, some pumpkin seeds, some roasted sunflower seeds, or just nuts in general, walnuts, almonds. Try eating fish. Having little things of fish, these little packages that you can get of tuna or salmon that are in these little convenient packages. Just eating a little of that, or eating a little grass-fed meat. You can make a meat roll up in it. Just slice it very, very thin and roll it around a veggie, and that will satisfy you. That's a great good snack. You got to eat the right carbs. Try to move away from not only non-starchy veggies like green beans and asparagus and mushrooms and onions and zucchini and fennel and eggplant and all kinds of peppers. Try a little jicama with a little avocado dip. And that'll go a long way. That'll go a long way because now you're getting your omega-3 fatty acids along with satisfying that sweet. Now, when you're doing this, you're going to find your beautiful smile probably turning upside down because the people you're running into are going to say, oh man, is she or he irritable this week? Because when you're coming off of that sugar, your irritability meter seems to shoot all up. But there is good news. When you're stressed, let me tell you this. When you're stressed, your cortisol shoots up. And this drives your hunger up. And when your hunger is driven up, then that fuels your desire to eat junk and to eat more sweets and have sweet cravings. So you want to do some things to kind of de-stress yourself. You're going to learn how to just, take in new sights that you haven't seen, even on your way, your commute, going back and forth to work, or, going in your yard or walking around your community. Just set your eyesights on different things that you haven't seen before, and actually looking for those new things actually lowers your cortisol. Learning how to breathe deeply, not the shallow breathing that we do when we're hurried or when we're on a lot of sugar, but just taking a moment to just sit down, calm yourself, and breathe deeply. And this will help you manage some of your stress. Add a little bit of exercise, de-stressing exercises like some yoga or just some stretches, some extra stretches to help you out during the day. And try to give up a little dairy. Try to give up your dairy. And while you're doing this with sugar, let's say you drink regular milk, you drink cow's milk. Let's try to switch it over to some nut milk or to some goat milk for a couple of days while you're doing this. And sleep is extremely important. It's said that we need to get 8 hours of sleep. A lot of us, because of our lifestyles, things we have to do, sometimes it's just that is just a little bit out of reach for us, getting 8 hours of sleep. But while you are detoxing your body from sugar, count backwards from the time that you have to get up in the morning, 8 hours, and condition yourself for the next 7 or 10 days, no matter what, to go to bed at that time, because getting a full 8 hours of sleep can actually lower your desire for any junk food or any sugar. The Cleveland Clinic did a study, and less than 8 hours a night of sleep, guess what? It drives your desire to eat more calories up. So just getting a little bit more sleep will help you go through this detoxification period. Now, I hope this helped you. I hope this was some good information. Share some things that you didn't really realize about sugar cravings, and try to make it through the holiday season with lessening the amount of sugar that you put in your body, because sugar actually expands the weight around your waistline and your abdominal area. And we know when we increase our weight, or we hold fat in that area around our abdomen and around our waistline, it is a big contributor to leading diseases, heart diseases, and clogged arteries. And we want to make sure that we are working on our bodies so that we can be healthy. And where does it start? In the inside. So we want to be healthy from the inside out. Okay, well, this was Janice with my short little nugget for you today. I hope you got something out of that. And as I always say, see you healthy. Bye for now.